afternoon to everyone present here. I sincerely thank the AIOS body for giving me this opportunity to present our work on the clinical profile of thyroid orbitopathy, specifically based on systemic thyroid status. I'm a senior resident at PGI Chandigarh. So as we all know, thyroid orbitopathy is an inflammatory disorder of autoimmune origin. There are several classification systems that have come up. The most recent and the most clinically relevant one is the VISA classification system. And there are several previous studies that have said that milder forms of TAO are normally seen in hypo and euthyroid patients. So we aim to see our patients and how they did according to the VISA classification and according to their thyroid status. So we enrolled prospectively in a cross-sectional manner. We enrolled about 129 patients over 17 months. More than 90% of them had a known thyroid disorder, while about 6% of them presented with ocular symptoms and were subsequently diagnosed to have thyroid disease. 70% of them were hyperthyroid at presentation, about 20% of them were hypothyroid, and about 5% were euthyroid. The mean age at presentation was 40.7 years, which was a little less than what was the global average reported. Of note was the fact that hyperthyroid group presented earlier than the hypo and the euthyroid group. We did see a slightly higher proportion of males. The female to male ratio was about 1.15, while the global average is about a 9 or 2:1. We also noted that as the age at presentation increases, there was a higher proportion of males in that particular age group. When it came to the clinical profile, forward proteinuria, proptosis, and lid edema were the most common presenting symptoms. Specifically, hypothyroid patients had more likelihood of presenting with lid retraction. Euthyroid patients almost always presented with proptosis, and hypothyroid group specifically presented with lid edema more often than the other groups. So as I had previously mentioned, about 6% of our patients presented with thyroid eye disease first. About 52 patients in our cohort had concomitant thyroid eye disease and systemic thyroid dysfunction, and about 68 of them had systemic thyroid disease first. Amongst the systemic risk factors, we had 13% patients who had a positive family history. Smoking was present in about 15% of our patients. Most of them belonged to the hyperthyroid group. So we looked at our patients when it came to the VISA classification too. And we found that decreased vision was present in about 18% of our patients. And most of them were in the hypothyroid group. The color vision was less only in about 3.9% patients, but it did not differ significantly between the groups. Visual field function was normal in the 86% of our patients. When it came to the inflammatory index, we found that 10 patients had active disease, and of which 9 of them were belonging to the hyperthyroid group, while only 1 was euthyroid and none in the hypothyroid group. When it came to the strabismus, we had 11% patients presenting with diplopia, of which 6.2% had strabismus. So the hyperthyroid group with active disease were much more, almost exclusively, this group had a restriction of ocular movements. When it came to appearance, hypothyroid group had a higher proportion having a mild appearance, and the severe appearance was almost equally distributed in hypothyroid group, but the proportions may be a little bit off because of the proportion of patients in each of these groups. These were the treatment details that they were taking according to the systemic thyroid status. So to kind of summarize what we were seeing, basically we found that the proportion of hypothyroid patients was a little bit higher in our cohort. We also found lesser female to male ratio and lesser mean age at presentation, and proptosis was the most common symptom. Higher disease activity was seen in the hyperthyroid group along with lid retraction and lag of thalamus, and there was no significant difference in the risk factors and how it contributed to disease activity. I would like to bring your attention to this very good paper that came out of L.V. Prasad Institute, in which they also saw that the average age of presentation was about 45 years, and they did see a higher proportion of males, and 1/3 of them, 1/3 of their patients were euthyroid. This differed a little bit from our presentation. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to present our data. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Samiksha. That was a really well-documented study. Very nice. You have highlighted a lot of good points. Dr. Shalu, Would you like to take the discussion on this?
Yeah, Dr. Samiksha, all your patients were already thyroid patients, or they came to you and then you had asked them to go for the thyroid, depending upon the clinical presentation?
Yes, ma'am, about 6% of our patients came to us directly, and then we, depending on the clinical symptoms, we suspected thyroid eye disease, and we asked them to get the test done.
Okay.
Over 90% were already diagnosed to have thyroid
And
disorder.
most of them were hyperthyroid.
Yes, ma'am.
But usually nowadays we see euthyroid patients also but in your group, euthyroid group was very less.
Yes, yes, ma'am. This paper from LV Prasad, they had a higher proportion of euthyroid patients. It could be a referral bias, ma'am. That's I think of.
Yeah.
A very good paper, Dr. Samiksha. And how some of the patients did have a medical or surgical management from your side? Any of them required?
This is a cross-sectional study, so we only took their data when they first came in.
Okay.
Some of them did require surgical correction, but there were only 2 patients in this cohort who had severe disease that required such correction.
And they were well managed with you thyroid, basically endocrinologist.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Any input from Dr. Anita, ma'am?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just interesting to highlight that traditionally we feel that it's women more. It's you know, the age group also, they seem to have picked up a lower age group. So it means that one should be alert that even in euthyroid, even in a younger age, a male, if there is a proptosis, we must keep thyroid in mind.
Yeah.
And some of these cases, as you showed in one of the pictures, can have a very bad outcome.
Yes,
so we should be able to pick it up early and avoid it reaching a stage where there is loss of vision. So important to be aware of all the findings, and you really documented it very well. And this is something we should all keep in